And hey, what up, everybody? I'm coming at y'all with a recap of day 4, the Diddy trial. Um, with that being said, shout out to Chronicle Speaks. Let's get into it.
Now, I'm not one to gossip, but I will bring you the tea. Welcome to Chronicle Speaks.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes, look at you.
We are only in day number 4 of the infamous trial of Sean P. Diddy Combs. Just to give you a recap of trial day number 3, Cassie Diddy's ex-girlfriend took the stand and exposed a dark, disturbing side of the fallen hip-hop mogul that left everyone in shock. Cassie, whose real name is Cassandra Ventura, got up on the stand and did not hold back. She told the jury that during their 10-year relationship, Diddy physically abused her, controlled her every move, and forced her into non-consensual sex acts with male sex workers, all while being watched and filmed. She described years of being pressured to use drugs and alcohol, being isolated, and being made to perform sexually humiliating things in private freak-off parties that Diddy allegedly orchestrated. This came right after jurors were shown a hotel surveillance video of Diddy violently assaulting Cassie in 2016, punching and kicking her in a hallway like she was nothing. Now, according to Cassie, this was not a one-time thing. It was just one of many times he put hands on her. Now, she stayed silent for years because she was scared and because Diddy controlled every aspect of her life, money, career, and even who she spoke to. Now, this isn't just a celebrity breakup gone wrong. This is a major case involving abuse, power, control, and sex trafficking. And it could land the fallen hip-hop mogul behind bars for life. We are going to get into trial day number 4 and so much more, but before we do, please be sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any news regarding this story and so much more. Now let's get back into it. Okay, so before the cross-examination begins, the judge and the lawyers need to address a text message issue in court. Prosecutors raised concerns about the defense bringing in text messages that reference Ventura having sex with someone else other than Sean Diddy Combs or an escort, and they say that the messages would be in violation of the parties' agreement to not allow that kind of evidence into the trial. Now, defense attorney Mark Ignifilo said his team wants to show the jury conversations between Combs and Ventura that reference infidelity and jealousy that use a more vulgar vocabulary. This is the real world way that people express hurt over realization that there's cheating going on, he said. Well, they argue about this for quite some time. The jurors are not there. Cassie is not there in the room. However, Diddy's family walks in. Now, his sons and his mother have all arrived in the courthouse in Manhattan, and his twin daughters, Jessie and Delilah Combs, were traveling yesterday for their high school prom in Los Angeles area this weekend, according to sources close to the family. Cassie Ventura's husband, Alex Fine, is also in the courtroom. So before the cross-examination begins, Ventura's lawyer, Wigdor, says, I have a right to be a part of the meet and confer about which evidence she can be questioned about. She is the only victim witness that has standing under Rule 412. Judge Subramanian said, we have to move forward. So Diddy's attorney Estabo is the one cross-examining Cassie today. She says, you love Mr. Combs, correct? I did. For 11 years, you took care of him? In some ways. You called him larger than life? I did. Others called him Diddy or Puff Daddy, but you called him Sean, right? Yes.
There's only one person.
Oh, go on.
Then I call him Sean. That's Jay-Z. We call each other Sean.
Okay.
Yeah. Nobody else could call me Sean.
He's the only person Sean approved.
There's not a single person that
outside of family.
That should be outside of my mother.
Okay, just
They should be calling me. Yeah, they should be calling me Sean.
You knew a version of him the rest of the world couldn't see, right? Objection, says prosecution. Judge says overruled. Cassie says, in ways, you kept coming back to him for 11 years. I wouldn't say coming back. You believed he loved you too, right? I did believe he loved me too. So when he cheated on you, it hurt? Not every time. Estabo says, bring up the defense exhibit. Prosecution says, objection, not in evidence. Judge says, that's true. This is not in evidence. Estabo says, Miss Ventura, read it just to yourself. Why did you send this message? Ventura says, to let him know I was going to dinner. So what was going on when these messages were sent? I'm not sure. What was going on in your relationship then? It was early. We were loving. Defense says, I offer it. Prosecution says, objection. Being offered for the truth. Judge says, overruled. Estabo says, please read. Cassie says, I wrote, I love you, smiley face. I'll fly anywhere for you. I love you. Cass. Estabo says, this 2009 email. Prosecution says, objection. Hearsay. Judge says, Miss Estabo, ask more questions. Estabo says, from Blackberry, what is BG? Baby girl, what did you write? You hungry, Pop Pop? For those of you that may be confused, Cassie previously testified that Diddy asked her, what do you call your granddad? She said, Pop Pop. He said, that's what I want you to call me. And here's a necklace to prove she had Pop Pop on the necklace, so he's Pop Pop. Now, the jury is shown a series of text messages between Sean
That's some
Diddy
weird
Combs
shit.
and Cassie Ventura. She says, going to sleep now so it can be tomorrow faster. I love you. Combs says, love my baby. Ventura puts a smiley face. Combs says, I love you so much it consumes my life. Cassie says, I wonder the same for myself. Like, who was I before we decided to be together? Combs said, I never knew it could be like this. Now, the jury also saw email messages between Sean P. Combs and Cassie Ventura from January 2008. And it said, it makes me so happy that you would fly to ATL just to see me. I'm a very lucky man. I love you. I miss you. Can't wait to hold you. And Cassie said, I'm a very lucky woman. I miss you so much. I'd fly whenever you needed me, wherever. I love you. Now, Ventura testified that early on in the relationship around this time, she and Combs would often send each other loving text messages. So how long had you been seeing each other? Like 2.5 years. So defense attorney Anna Estabo had asked Cassie Ventura what made her fall in love with Combs, prompting Ventura to say that she hadn't thought about it in a while. The beginning of our relationship was really, we spoke about it already. It was really fast paced, scary, but the more time I spent with him and got to know him, his real personality, at least what I thought was his real personality, and it was like what it was. When asked about his personality, Ventura said in the beginning of their relationship, he was very sweet and attentive. Ventura describes Combs as having a charismatic, big personality that everyone really loved. Mrs. Stava says, please read this, 1364. She says, I haven't talked to you at all. You don't even try. You rush me off the phone. I'm really hurt. I don't need your money. I need some attention. Estabo says, you wanted your special time with Mr. Combs, huh? She said, yes. You testified that you told him, I love you so much. You make me a better woman. I definitely wrote those messages. You wrote, I can't wait until we have a baby of our own. You knew that he had 6 kids at this time. Yes, defense attorney Estabo asked Cassie a series of questions about how she earned Sean Combs' trust and about how she wanted to make him happy. And to make him happy, you told him that you wanted to do freak-offs. Cassie said there's a lot more to that. So now these text messages about freak-offs, when you say, you know, it doesn't matter to me, you mean weekend or weekday, either is fine? That's what it says. Mr. Combs says, maybe we can call Jules. Can you do it? Yes. Estabo says this was an explicit message from you about the anticipated upcoming freak-off. Prosecution says objection. Cassie asked the judge for a break and he allowed it. Now, the judge had been viewing text messages between her and former boyfriend Sean Diddy Combs while they were dating. So while Cassie is out on break, defense lawyer Karen Friedman Ignifilo, who is married to Sean Diddy Combs' lawyer Mark Ignifilo, is at a divider and conferring with 5 attorneys from the defense team. Now, she is speaking the longest with Anna Estabo, who is the one that is cross-examining Cassie. Also, it is noted that Combs gave a heart-shaped hand gesture to Karen Friedman Ignifilo's mother, who is seated beside her. Now, Combs is wearing a beige sweater, white collar, and gray pants. His 3 sons and his mother, again, are in the courtroom this morning, and he tapped his chest when he made eye contact with them. So now we're back from break, and the jury is seeing more sexually graphic text messages between Cassie Ventura and Sean P. Diddy Combs, which they exchanged in August 2009. Now, the messages are a continuation of the texts that were shown before Ventura, who is being cross-examined by the defense team now, asked for a short break. Now, those texts came as they were planning a freak-off, which is what Combs called a drug-fueled sex performance that he orchestrated. Estabo says this is 2 days after planning of a freak-off, right? She says yes. He says, I want to see. How did you reply? I said, I can't wait either. You wrote, I feel like I want to right? That's what it says. Mr. Combs says, I'm so horny I can't concentrate. What did you say?
Whoa,
That
what
I'll go
the
to Dwayne
hell?
Reed for candles and then set up a
You
room?
sitting
And
on
Gustavo
God,
said, did you understand that
motherfuckers?
he was going to take another video of
Freak
you?
ass nigga, he
Prosecution
sits
says,
on
objection,
God. Freak ass nigga,
speculation.
he sits
Judge
on
says, Mr.
God.
Stavo, you can move on. Mr.
Sorry,
Stavo says, you
just had to
asked,
do it.
any pills on you? Yes. What pills were you taking? Opiates. Now, Ventura said that she was taking opiates like Norco around the time these messages were sent in 2009. In the
Damn.
same text message, Ventura also mentioned deleting a video, but she testified that she wasn't sure what kind of video she was referring to in the message and couldn't be sure if it was a freak-off recording. Defense attorney Estavo asked if Ventura preferred to have freak-off videos recorded on her devices, and she said, I didn't want them to be recorded at all. Cassie admits that she met Diddy through Ryan Leslie, who is a music producer that she dated for about 3 years, beginning when she was around 18 or 19 years old. Now, with Leslie being 10 years older than her, Ventura said that Combs was the second oldest man that she dated at that point. Now, Ventura and Combs had a platonic relationship when she first signed to the company Bad Boy Records. He supported her bad TV moment, and that meant a lot to her. Okay, so Cassie, who is Tommy Mottola? A well-known producer. You're an up-and-coming star. I guess you can say that. After you signed with Bad Boy, things were still platonic? Yes. You had a rough...
What did they mention Tommy Mottola, Mariah Carey's ex-husband? That was weird. Hold on. Let's keep going.
performance. Yeah, on 106 in Park, it did not go well for me. How did he help you after that? He did a YouTube video. He said everybody makes mistakes. So Cassie, what was wrong? I couldn't hear myself. You were dating Mr. Leslie. How much older than you was he? 10 years. Then you traveled to Miami with Mr. Combs. The flyer of the event was just a cover to spend time with Mr. Combs, right? That's true. You had a tattoo of Mr. Leslie's initials on your body, right? Yes. How many tattoos did you have then? Objection, relevance. Judge says overruled, but let's keep it moving. Ventura said 3. The one on your arm. Cassie says no regrets. Who was at your 21st birthday party in Las Vegas? Britney Spears, Dallas Austin. How did you get them there? That was all him. I didn't know them. Ventura testified that she ran away when Combs tried to kiss her for the first time at her 21st birthday party. Following her 21st birthday party, Ventura said she wanted to join Combs on a trip to Miami, but she was still dating Ryan Leslie, so she testified that she used a flyer for an event as an excuse to go on the trip. And it worked. You're very beautiful and charming. Thank you. It's true. Cassie, don't you fall for that, girl. They trying to get you. Estavo says Mr. Combs taught you how to do oral sex. He did. Look at this. Tell me when you're ready. Can you read this? You can read it. It's making me laugh. It's from 2007. You wrote, I feel protected. You are sweet. Cassie was like, no, ma'am, I'm not reading that. You can read it. Okay, I'd like to ask about your freak-offs. Sometimes you wore a wig and a mask. Yes. The general public did not know. Objection, says prosecution. Judge says rephrase. No one until November 2023 in the public, yes. So the jury viewed text messages between Cassie Ventura and Sean Diddy Combs from December 2009 that Ventura confirmed reflected the open communication between them. She told defense attorney Anna Estavo that at the time she felt comfortable expressing her needs to Combs over participating in freak-offs. Ventura wrote in the 2009 message that she needed to feel safe like home, to be more open like the things we do in bed. She continued, the last time was a mistake, but since has made me feel a little dirty and grimy as opposed to a sexual and spontaneous thing. That's the only reason why I go back and forth in my mind with wanting and not wanting to do it. Ventura wrote that when we used to do freak-offs, when we were so in love, there were no questions asked, but she did not feel that same level of love anymore, at least. So the jury sees emails from Cassie to Diddy in October 2007, just a few weeks after her 21st birthday. Now, Ventura testified that the emails demonstrate open communication between her and Combs, but said it was usually a one-way street. Now, she said that she would send messages about being open about her feelings more often than he would. In the email, Ventura wrote, "We've only really had 1 week of each other just together, and I can say that it's been the best and the worst." She wrote about the things she liked about Combs and dreaming of a beautiful future together. "Who'd know I'd fall so fast," she wrote. She also wrote
Poor girl didn't even know she walked herself right into a nightmare.
about some negative feelings she had about their relationship. So Estavo mentions an email that Cassie wrote to Diddy regarding Diddy possibly being more suitable for her friend Carrie. You wrote, "I see that Carrie is better fitting for you. I'm hurt that you think I'm malicious. You're very important to me. Love, Cassie." Cassie laughs. "What were you trying to convey?" It's like a journal entry. Okay, so you discussed Carrie Morgan. Did you think Mr. Combs was attracted to her? There was a point in the beginning. Yes, I did. Did that complication carry on in your relationship? Not really. Carrie was just always with us. The email continues, "On the other hand, you're constantly weary of me. I'm sneaky. I never seem to make right decisions for you. I'm a spoiled brat. I'm dramatic, disrespectful, and for some reason, you just don't trust me." So at this time, there is a brief charge back and forth between Cassandra Ventura and Sean Combs' lawyer about the effect of the lawsuit she filed in 2023 that he quickly settled for $20 million. Estavo asked Cassie, "When your lawsuit was publicized in November 2023, you understood that his career was ruined at that point, right?" "I could understand that, yeah." So then we go back to talking about the freak offs, and Estavo says, "Let's read these messages." Mr. Combs wrote, "When are you on your period?" Cassie says, "No, now." Diddy writes, "What you be thinking about when you horny?" Estavo says, "Miss Ventura, if you don't want to read the answers, I can read them." Cassie says, "Thank you." Estavo says, "The O has a lot of O's after them, right?" Ventura says, "Yes." "After a freak off, you make love with Mr. Combs?" "Yes." "Your period, Mr. Combs is asking you when you're on it, right?" "Yes." "He's asking in the context of when we meet up and have sex?" "Looks like it." "Sometimes you watch him with a female?" 2 or 3 times. "Did you talk to Mr. Combs about the swinger lifestyle?" "That no one talks about it." "Were you keeping freak off secret from your friends?" "Yes." "His assistants helped him?" "With everything." "You would remember if an assistant came in during one of your sessions with an escort?" "Not necessarily. I was high." "So you don't remember much." "I had my privacy invaded a lot during that relationship." This is from July 2012. You say to Mr. Combs, "I'm horny and bored." This was after a freak off, right? There are a lot of texts here. Prosecution says, "I would ask that the witness be allowed to read the entire document." Judge says, "How many pages?" Estavo says, 8. Prosecution says, "We don't have a copy for the witness." Estavo says, "We'll show it on the screen, but not in the public gallery." You often said Mr. Combs would put you down, but he also sent you encouragement and called you a queen, right? Yes. What would trigger Mr. Combs' incessant calls to you? Anger, doubt about where I was. If he suspected you of cheating, he would call you incessantly? That was one of the reasons. Because he thought, objection, says prosecution. That's sustained, says the judge. Do you believe Mr. Combs has good taste? I think he does. He had an impact on your fashion. People like his style. Sean John. Did you consult with him on your look? Sometimes I got advice I didn't ask for. He still ran his companies even while having all these freak offs, right? He did. What was he addicted to? Success. What substances? Opiates? Yes, he told me and I saw it. Did Mr. Combs' mood depend on whether or not he was withdrawing from opiates? He was more irritable, I would say. What other drugs was Mr. Combs addicted to? Objection, said prosecution, no foundation. I'll ask if I want the ground, says the judge. Sustained, rephrase. What was his drug of choice? MDMA? Opiates daily? When he was doing them, the judge says it's time for a lunch break and the jury leaves. Mrs. Stabo, where are you in the cross? We have a lot of exhibits. Let me confer over lunch. Judge says non-responsive. Will you finish today or early tomorrow? Ignipolo said the end of the day tomorrow. Then he says we might not be able to finish by tomorrow. This is the most important witness. The judge said for months we said this witness had to be off the stand by the end of the week. Prosecution says our direct was a day and a half. Limit them that. Judge says show Miss Ventura the exhibits in advance. Maybe just ask her questions rather than these exhibits. We have a timing concern. He continues, in what universe did you not understand that this was important? Ignipolo said they called 2 witnesses to start. That wasn't our choice. It's a critical, important witness. Judge says streamline things. Piccolo over there like, this ain't enough. Make it enough. It does seem like prosecution took up a lot of time, but hopefully the defense can get everything wrapped up by the end of day tomorrow. So let me note this. While the defense was questioning Cassie Ventura about text messages, Sean P. Diddy Combs was writing on orange sticky notes and passing one after another to his attorney sitting beside him. Now, he also spoke during the break briefly with the attorney that's handling the cross-examination, Mrs. Stavo. Okay, so it's 1:10. Everyone is back. Judge says, Mrs. Stavo, has the witness had a chance to review the exhibits?
Janet, when's the last time you had a vegetable?
Tuesday month.
Damn it, Janet! Meet Groons, a daily pack of 8 delicious gummies filled with all the essential vitamins, minerals, and superfoods you need to thrive.
But don't I need like over 60 essential nutrients? Vitamin C, D, zinc, copper. Oh God, it's so much.
Shh, Janet, my little superstar. Groons has all of that. And from whole food ingredients, you can actually read, not some crazy chemical compound.
Organic spinach.
I can read it! Heck yeah, you can, buff boy! Bring it in, you two. Groons is packed with the 8 MVCs you need to feel better every day. Whole fruits, whole veggies, vitamins and minerals, herbs, antioxidants, prebiotics, and it's even got your full dose of mood-boosting adaptogens and super mushrooms. Which could help with that anxiety I'm picking up, bud. Plus, they're an adorable, snackable, bite-sized treat you can take on the go. They're basically fruit snacks with benefits without the fillers. Like your childhood gummies grew up and got a real job.
And these are vegan too, right? I don't like to hurt animals.
Interesting. But yeah,
Prosecution says they are lengthy.
Sorry about
Judge
that
says
ad.
we'll do the best that we can. I was told this witness would be off the stand by the end of the week. We let the jury go early yesterday. If there's something that really needs to be done on cross after lunch tomorrow, I may allow it. We have to leave time for redirect. This witness is being responsive. So Miss Ventura enters, the jury enters, and Estavo says, let's turn to GX 411. Prosecution says it's not in evidence yet. Estavo said, so, B414, page 3 and 4, you wrote, I love our freak-offs. When we both won it, you felt that? Cassie said 11 freak-offs were just words at that point. Estavo continues, Mr. Combs wrote to you, I want to freak off right now, and you wrote that you wanted it too. Laugh out loud, me too. Ventura said, I text more than that. Estavo, but you did text that to him. Mr. Combs wrote to you, Jules is available if you are into it. You could have said yes or no, and you said love you. Ventura said that was no yes or no. Estavo said bring up B420 on page 2. Mr. Combs wrote, do I have your permission to set up Freaky Fun? You wrote ovulation. Ventura said yes. Estavo said, here, what do you say? Which hotel? I must have called him in between. I don't want to assume anything. He says montage. You said you could go to Pleasure Chest. What would you get there? Sexual supplies. Estavo says, what supplies? She says lubricant, outfits. He says, have fun, impress me. You say, okay. He says, can we kiss a lot? What do you say? I say yes. You wrote, I left the iPad. I don't know whose iPad that meant. Mr. Combs wrote, I'll be there right after my session. This was June 2017. Do you remember arguments you were having at the time? Not specifically. Here you say the game starts at 10 p.m. No breaking character until 8 a.m. This was a game a friend of mine told me, a way of rekindling your romance. Mrs. Stavo says by doing something different in the bedroom, it's a whole getting into character thing. Mr. Combs says, let's get some outfits and go to a sex club. Mr. Combs wrote, surprise, surprise, package coming from out of state. Why can't I reach you? What did you say? I was getting my brows done. Did you come to know Mr. Combs was leaving to freak off to go see Kim Porter? Yes. How did you find out about Gina? How did you feel? Did it upset you? Yes. Did it prompt arguments? It did. And he thought you were not faithful. What were his reactions? It was scary. Mr. Combs wrote to you, let's do something different in NYC this weekend. FYI, Dave hit me. What does hit mean? Reached out, and Daniel contacted you. Did this mean you might have a freak off? Might. He tells you, you better put me on VIP vibrate alarm or something. He's frustrated. You don't answer the text messages fast enough? Right. You tell him to come to NYC, understanding there could be a freak off, right? Maybe. You also saw the Book of Mormon. Cassie laughs. Yes. Mass Pleasure. Is that a sex club? I would assume. He asks, are you ready for tonight? What do you say? Yes, I just have to get some things. This is not about what I felt, right? Because you are skipping over a lot here. Estabo says, what did you write? She says, as much as you think you're Bruce Willis, you're not. Your kids were babies when we started dating. If you saw him on social media or on a vacation with Kim, it was heartbreaking. It could be. I was 7 years in. And what about this? About Gina, you wrote, I don't want to be a side piece, but I'll treat you as a king. So by 2013, Ventura had been in a relationship with Combs for about 7 years, she testifies, but she said she still hadn't been able to form a relationship with his children. She expressed her frustration over not being able to spend time with him and his kids in a July 2013 text message, which was shown to the jury this afternoon. Now, the message in part reference other divorced celebrity couples and how they spend time with each other and their family. The message went on to say, I've been at the edge of tears this whole week. I don't think that you sympathize with my feelings. I understand you feeling like you need to protect your children, but after a while, it's like, for what? They've never known you and Kim Porter to be together unless there's something I just don't know about. You wanted to be the main girlfriend. In 2013, yes, you saw social media posts of Combs with other girlfriends and you got angry, right? Can I speak? I was jealous of certain situations. Did it ever seem hypocritical to you that he would date other women but expect monogamy in return? Cassie acknowledged that Combs was far more jealous than she was. She said he had a bad temper and he reacted poorly to information that he did not like. Okay, so now they start speaking about Kid Cudi. Ventura confirmed that she had a burner phone or a secret second device when she dated Kid Cudi while she was on a called break from her relationship with Sean. Ventura said she was continuing to have freak-offs with
Have you heard? Reading glasses are outdated. A new technology for the elderly. Nothingness is here. From now on, you can play with your cell phone, watch TV,
Sean because it was a job and that she didn't know if he considered them to be on break. Ventura said that she did not tell Combs about her new relationship because she thought it would be way too dangerous. Did there come a time he suspected you were in a relationship with someone in the industry? Mr. Mescudi? Yes, Mr. Combs thought it could be good for your career if you collaborated with Mr. Mr. Mescudi. Yes. Why did you begin your relationship with Mr. Mescudi? We enjoyed each other's company. You were in a relationship with Mr. Combs. We were on a break, but you were still doing freak-offs with him. Yes. After Mr. Combs found out by going through your phone, you went to see him. You knew he was upset. He previously attacked you. Yes, I thought it would be safer with other people there. Okay, the judge takes another break. Okay, at 2:38, we are back, and Judge Subramanian says, okay, let's get Ms. Ventura back and the jury. The jury enters. Mr. Stavo says your affair with Mr. Mescudi was only a month long, but you got a burner phone for it? Right. Mr. Combs kicked you in the back? Yes. This came up later in your relationship that you had cheated on him with Kid Cudi. He brought it up quite a bit. When he cheated, he said, well, you had an affair with Kid Cudi, right? Sometimes. He suspected you of having an affair with another person in the industry. You were in South Africa filming, right? Yes, Honey 3. Cassie laughs. While you were there, you saw a photo of Mr. Combs with Gina, and you were irate, right? I was angry. So to give context to this situation, Cassie stated that she began dating actor Michael B. Jordan around that time in 2015. Prosecution said you blocked him and focused on your movie career, right? She said, I tried my best. Mr. Combs suspected you of a relationship with whom? Michael B. Jordan. You sent a video not only to Combs, but also to his staff. Who? D-Rock. You sent it to them because you were angry with all of them? I was hurt. I spent all of my time with them. You thought they were in on it? So Cassie sent a video of Diddy and Gina at an event to a text chain with Combs and some of his closest staff. She said she felt betrayed for them not telling her. Okay, Cassie, so let's talk about the physical abuse. When did your father learn about it? Same time as my mother. Did Mr. Combs come to Connecticut to speak to your parents? I don't know if it was then. Carrie Morgan, she knew about the abuse? Yes. Okay, and the eyebrow gash incident, what was that about? Didn't answer the phone and went to sleep. I was supposed to be packing for a trip. He was inebriated? I don't remember that. Why were you asleep? A drink at the Abbey had something in it, I think. Did Mr. Combs ever abuse you while he was inebriated, then say he didn't remember it? Yes. Did you feel he was not taking responsibility? Yes. For drugs, you'd both go to rehab? Rehab wasn't really a thing during our relationship. The freak-offs, were there ever any opportunities for you to do drugs together? Yes. You went a lot to Burning Man? Yes. Did you ever call yourself Get High Partners? We did. Did you take drugs from him without him knowing? Yes. What was his reaction? Explosive. Did he tell LA dealers not to deal to you? Yes. Now it seems as though Combs' defense is trying to imply that Combs' main triggers for violence against Ventura were jealousy and his own drug use, a point made in their opening statement, not necessarily to force her into extreme sexual situations. Now you told Miss Quorum that you learned after the fact that Mr. Combs had dangled Miss Bongolan off the balcony. I saw what I saw. Estavo then shows Ventura a text message she sent Combs' chief of staff, Christina Quorum, shortly after the incident, telling her that she learned of the altercation after the fact. Now, yesterday, Ventura told the prosecution during her testimony that she woke up to find Combs holding her friend over the balcony railing before throwing her onto the patio furniture. Estavo asked Cassie if she was on drugs that night. You were on drugs? I'm not sure. Cassie could not recall if she did drugs before falling asleep earlier that day. You got a life coach for your drug use, according to this document. I don't know who that person is. You were doing a lot of drugs? It was a rough time. You tried to get into rehab, the Golden Door. It was a spot. There was a time when I lost all sense of smell and taste when I woke up, and I had a numbing in my arm. She also experienced some dissociative side effects from ketamine use. She says that Sean Diddy Combs noticed some of her symptoms and suggested she seek doctors. She said she didn't tell Combs everything about her drug use throughout their relationship, but she added that they were both doing a lot of drugs. Now, in 2012, Sean Combs overdosed on painkillers, and Cassie Ventura confirmed this while testifying. Ventura said that on that day, they had a freak off and went to a sex club. Before, Sean went without her to a party at a Playboy mansion. Later that night, she took him to a hospital where they learned he'd experienced an overdose. From what he told me, he took a very strong opiate that night, but we didn't know what was happening, so we took him to the hospital. Defense asked Cassie, were you ever not addicted to painkillers? We both took Ibogaine. Where did you get it? Cancun, Mexico, separately. Now the defense starts asking a lengthy line of questions to suggest Combs was reliant on opiates and any withdrawal from them would negatively affect his mood. He was extremely dependent on his opiates, right? For a time, yes. He was very upset if the opiates were taken away from him, right? I guess so. Okay, so switching topics. When you say Mr. Combs went with guns to find Suge Knight, do you remember telling the government that you did go with them? No. Let me show you. Prosecution says just for the parties. I did not go with them, so I don't think I said that. Estavo pointed to a report from investigators that they met with Ventura in June 2024, where she told them she was brought along in the car and cried. Ventura said that was incorrect. I didn't go in the car with them, she said. Estavo said, you also did drugs with Miss Morgan, right? Yes. Do you recall telling the government that you did not see what he did, hitting her in the head with a wooden hanger? I saw the hanger. I saw he was angry that I was doing drugs with Carrie. This broke up your 17-year friendship with her? It did. Did you tell Mr. Combs about your relationship with your now husband? No. Miss Morgan sued you and Mr. Combs? Made a demand, and you paid part of that? I did. And you haven't spoke to her since? Maybe one text. That was the relationship ender? Yes. So you would heat up the baby oil? Yes. Now, is this from the day before the Intercontinental Hotel incident? Prosecution said this is a long document. We need time to read it. Judge says we'll take a break then. So we finally get some clarity on the baby oil. Defense attorney Estavo asked Cassie Ventura to confirm the Johnson's baby oil they used for freak-offs was never laced with any drugs, and she did confirm that. The defense attorney also asked to confirm that filling a baby pool with a lot of baby oil might explain why Sean P. Diddy Combs was keeping lots of baby oil on hand. Judge Arum Subramanian sustained an objection to that question. So defense asked a question, is this for March 4th? Prosecution said with UTC time, it's March 3rd. Estavo says, okay, Mr. Combs refers to accessories. Ventura says for the premiere. You sent him an explicit message? Yes. He responded with a number of M's. He wrote, too bad you have to work. Laugh out loud. He did. You asked him, are you feeling better? Then he discussed bodily function. Yes. Cassie says, can we just clarify what time these messages are really from the UTC? So the clarification is made showing that UTC time is 5 hours ahead of Eastern Standard Time. Mr. Combs went to your premiere at the London Hotel. He did. Then he says, I just got out of a spiritual therapy session. I asked, how did it go? He said it's a process. This
What's up, America? It's your boy Ice-T. And if you know me, you know I love my cars. No matter how much I love them, I know.
This is leading up to the hotel incident. You text him and you say, baby, I want to freak off so bad. You were asked in your direct and you said you didn't want him to ruin your premiere. Sure, Mr. Combs said if we get started at 7 p.m. and go until 4 a.m., you can get enough rest after. Yes.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
So he's saying that this will be a shorter than normal freak off. That's how I understood it. What do you say? I said, Carrie is here. We can't do it at my house. You say this guy is sick. I'm not going to ask you what that meant. Now, the defense is suggesting that Sean Combs was going through withdrawal in the days before the March 2016 assault at the Intercontinental Hotel. While Estavo and Cassie are going through these text messages, Estavo is saying that Combs was having symptoms that Estavo suggests are consistent with withdrawal. Ventura testified that she does not remember Combs going through withdrawal at the time, and she acknowledges the text appear to suggest he was sick at the time. So you were turning to Johnny. Was he a dancer or an escort? We hired him as a dancer, but he did what an escort does. Do you remember the beginning of the freak-off at the Intercontinental? Not really. The drugs were bad MDMA, right? I have no idea. Judge says it's 5 o'clock. Jurors, you may go home. Do not look up anything about the case. All rise. Go home, y'all. So this is the end of day number 4. So far, Diddy's legal team hasn't painted a strong picture of his relationship with Cassie like the prosecutors have. However, they both have stuck to their strategy from the opening statements, painting doubt about whether Cassie actually consented to the so-called freak-offs and pushing the idea that the drug use and the jealous toxic dynamic were behind Diddy's violent behavior. What I need to do is hear from you. What do you think about day 4, trial of Diddy? Leave a comment, and you know how we do. We'll talk about it down below. Talk to you guys later. Bye. Thanks for watching, but before you go, hit